All right, peace and love, family. We back with another episode of the HOP, helping our people elevate. I got another brother from the town with me. Can you introduce yourself, bro? Tell the people who you are, where you from.
Man, I'm Minc. I'm Minc Williams. Minc Williams. I run Touch of Soul. That's my business. It's a catering business. I'm from North Tulsa. I'm from the Boston and Pine area. More in the towards the Greenwood district. They call it Brady Heights, but we ain't really been influenced by that. So that's where I'm from. Part of North Tulsa. I'm from a real. Right now, it's kind of, if you go through there, it's real gentrified. But when I was there, it was a real neighborhood. Real people, real values. Real
That's what I
hustle
was.
there.
My bad. No, I was gonna say that's what I was gonna ask next. Was excuse me. How would you describe your upbringing in the community you grew up in?
See, man, I mean, where I grew up was a real neighborhood. They are everybody, even though it was people who had drug addicts and all, we come with all the stuff a hood come with, but everybody had fathers pretty much around our neighborhood, and the neighbors all knew everybody kids was, you couldn't, we was a real neighborhood, you know what I mean? Like anybody who didn't have something, you could work outside and still get it. So just where I grew up at, it was more of a, man, we was more business minded. It was more of a love and a structure for sure. Cause everybody, everybody pops and moms. Everybody raised everybody. But my hood was real, um, like hustle influence, money influence, because we was close to downtown, so we got certain traffic from there, and a certain businesses we were into or we was taught at that time. So it was like we all grew up at one time with everybody taking care of everybody. Then everybody started hustling together, and everybody was getting money. So it was still respect within the business until a certain point. So
Hmm.
my hood was more of my hood is more of a hustler hood versus like kind of some of the hoods out north. Like some of the people who from neighborhood out north, they more structure on, we bang. It wasn't maybe as much money coming through their area as it was coming through ours. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? So we was kind of like, my hood was built on more family and structure first, and then business. So I was raised in a cool situation. You know what I mean? It was real cool. It had the regular hood stuff that happened, but everything was everything because everybody loved everybody. We had real neighbors, and we wasn't just the hood. We was a real family. So,
When you look back at our communities today, what do you see the biggest issues that we facing,
I
or
mean,
as the biggest issues?
we don't. You saying we as black people,
Yeah,
or we
yeah,
as okay.
our community. Yeah.
I don't feel that we have a community. You know what I mean? Because to have a community, you must have certain things. You must have education. You must have, doctors, hospitals. You must have grocery stores. You must have. We don't even have a community because people go, instead of buying up our own community to own our own, control our own, and operate our own, they'll go rather to go buy something in Jinx or pay a high rent in Jinx, and they might say it's for their kids to be in the same a better school district or something like that. But they're them same them same kids, they still fall victim to the same stuff that the kids in the hood, or they follow the stuff that the kids in the hood do. So it's like we don't really have our community a community until something bad happens. When something bad happens, that's when it's a black community. But we don't we're people who are scattered out through different communities.
If I like how you put that, you know what I mean? When something happened, then we become a community.
Ah, yeah, we're a black community. When something happened, when something happened at a Juneteenth or something of that nature, then it's we got to get this stuff together. We got to do it. But no, we got to own, control, and operate our own. At least a certain section, then we can protect our own. If we don't have our own or we don't own our own, everything that's going on is going to keep on going on because that's protocol. And it's messed up that that became our protocol, but that is. I mean, when you got people who only go out to support smoking, drinking, and barely thinking, and then they on their phone screaming, "It's lit, it's lit." If it get lit up, it get lit up. That's how it happened, you know. Because if we throwing something in our community to say, all right, we can bring them same artists at the same time of year and say, but we gonna do this to buy this or to support this store or to support this brother. Half them people wouldn't come there for that same thing. And it's a shame that it's kids and elderly people in the mix that be affected by the nonsense. But that's what we got to start thinking as a people, to where we only go out to support certain things, sporting games. We only go out to support a party, and this. We only support
Hmm.
certain things. So when those things, because I don't care if you go to a family reunion, you got unlimited drinks. Somebody gonna end up fussing and fighting at the end of the night.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? You got everybody smoking weed. Everybody, really, I ain't on point. Now this all comes with it. It comes with it, and we don't talk about the part of of what we're doing to condone and promote certain things by just not, even if it's a fact of, we know this happened at Juneteenth. This is a certain section that's only reserved for the elderly and children. We don't even have it organized enough to where we can block certain things off, or have a few of our officers there to just make sure, okay, this section right here is only for children and elderly people, to where they can sit there close to the stage, enjoy the show, and they don't have to be affected by anybody else's and ours.
Foolishness. Yeah.
But we don't look into enough of these type of things, though, bro. You know what I mean? That's but because it's protocol from what they see here, and ain't no reason to show them nothing else. We don't got nothing. No, we don't have no who really has something to offer these kids other than what they get from the YouTube, the games, the music. What do we? Nobody even own nothing, control nothing to show them how they can at least get some money
Hmm.
to support themselves. See, my era was it was about hustlers and getting money. We were, even the people who was on the bullshit, they were able to show us a way of doing it, or at least what we wanted to take it to another level. Now they don't. We don't. They don't got nobody to show them. They ain't even got. And these kids be having some paper. They be having some real paper if they put it together. Just like one of the, it should be everything is for, in the black community, we treat it as a hustle instead of a real business to build and establish and fund. Even like all of these black dispensaries we got, how many, how many black owned dispensaries we got, and they know our kids, these young kids love to smoke weed, they love to, why ain't we got no, why ain't we getting into the growing industry? Why don't we got no, why ain't none of these dispensaries put nothing together to where they can put some of these kids to work and have, teach them to be growers? You know what I mean? Where they could get into horticulture and agriculture, and now we're in the, not only in the just peddling weed to our own, but now we're in the distribution business. Now we have something to where we can get enough land to not only grow this weed right here, but we can grow some fruits and vegetables. And now we got a whole agricultural part of our community, and we putting people to work. You
I
know,
want to dive, I want to dive into a lot of the traumas. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of ongoing wars within ourselves, like the gangs, the self hate. You know what I mean? All this violence that we see. Why do you think we continue to destroy each other? Why do you think we continue to destroy each other instead of building together?
it's protocol. Every the my biggest things in life and doing stuff is protocol and decorum, bro. And it's the protocol that we were taught, because we're not. The protocol is for us to be misled within ourselves and step on each other to come up, and that's been taught in every which way. it's kind of like the fact of, all right, like the fentanyl epidemic. You know what I mean? It's like, why we say out of the time when our somebody, because I know so many people that done died and overdosed and all this from this, we say so many times, man, why people selling this bullshit to this to this to this to this, but we ain't looking at the fact of why is we as a people know it's so much bullshit floating around and we still shooting the dice
That part.
because we don't know how to wake up and be happy with ourselves as a people, and people are just so wanting a change to feel something better, to feel better about themselves, because you could get on that internet and be whoever you want to be, and then that. But when you go home and the bills adding up and that shit ain't adding up, and now you want to. Only thing you can do is try to change the way you feel.
Mhm.
And with shit being so messed up, everybody's an addict to something. So it's like, do you condone the hustler or do you condone the addict? I condone. I say the whole situation gotta be looked at to be changed. You know what I mean? But why, as we as a people, no, it's just like one thing I can say about crackheads. We always will talk bad about the crackheads and this. One thing about them crackheads, I bet you if it was some crack going around where everybody died, well, two or three people died, crackheads wasn't smoking crack no more.
That part.
Crackheads did better. The last generation of crackheads did better than these kids that's just on pills in regular life.
Hmm.
They did, at least they kept homes for their kids. They kept cars. They didn't, they kept them in school. They made sure that when we're not even looking at where we're going as a people, this is worse than this. Everything it gets to the next level of this. So now you got people who know it's so messed up, and you got the real addicts of it who's just like, fuck it. I know it's bad shit going around. I won't fit personally. Then you got people who still trying to play a game and thinking that they gonna shake this and get pills and they might get something fake, you know what I mean, or whatever. When everybody, you need to just can't even look at the point of deal with yourself and fix this shit. Fix yourself
That's
because
the biggest thing. Self.
self, and they don't know self. They have no, we don't never know self. All we know as self is what we hear about us or our people or this, especially around her. People don't have no legacies to stand on.
Hmm.
The legacies they get standing on is some street shit. You know what I mean? So we gotta start putting, like, I don't, man, look, I'ma just be as real as I can, even like with the self hate, with the gang banging. I'm not, look, gang banging is just like, it's here to stay. You know what I mean? And I'm not even knocking it because of the fact that it's, even in Africa, they all had tribes. And so your gang is your tribe. All right, that's understandable. But what I do knock is it ain't grown. It ain't no growth. I can name a little partner who from one side who might be 60,000 up and can command all of these little cats to do this, and instead of using but they'll be staying in an apartment with 50,000 in clothes and jewelry, maybe 60 in cash in an apartment that they don't own, but they'll be into it with some cats from a couple of blocks over from theirs when don't nobody pay their taxes on that block, and that whole block can be bought for $25,000.
Right. They ain't doing the math or the research.
You know what I mean? So that's it. Now I don't, now you done bought my mama house and shot my rent up. Now it's either I'ma either step it up and buy up some of y'all's, or and now I can see you having a reason to fighting over. Now it's something to fight for. But if you don't own nothing to control nothing to operate nothing, you ain't nothing. Only thing power respect is power. And people that say the money is power. It ain't if you don't use it right. Power is power, bro. And power is energy that feeds off of other energy. So it's like if we teach ours to move like an organization, That
Going into what you're saying though, like power, money is power, but the knowledge is what brings the power with the money. You know what I mean? Look at all the
the,
celebrities that's
the
went bankrupt.
right. That's why I say the power ain't nothing if you can't generate energy with it. If you could have a house with the power on, the power ain't never got cut off at this house. But if the power's not being utilized to bring light outside to be able to see to this, it's worthless.
Now, I
It,
know you spoke on this earlier, but you know what I mean, like, because I know you and I both know, but was this something that was created, or was it something that we created within ourselves, or was it by design that we had this self hate and this separation in our community?
man, this was systematically designed from the beginning, bro. This was light years and eons ahead of us and this was already put into place.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time the old stuff was getting noticed, they put into something else into place and something else into place. And we're such a submissive people. Black people are the most forgiving people in the world, except for with each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Black people, we've always been taught because that's of God. We know but we're that way with everybody but ourselves. Because with ourselves, we're taught that you ain't gonna be better than me, nigga. You ain't no better than me. Yeah, I'll kill you, but you know that's what we're taught. And we didn't start that way, but that's what we end up becoming.
Sound like the Willie Lynch syndrome.
Yeah, yeah, the Willie Lynch syndrome for sure. But Willie Lynch is so far it's so far indoctrinated in us to where it's like that theory is so old and played out. They didn't put so many more passes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They got a whole
Think about the house Negro versus the field Negro mentality. I'm better than you mentality.
right, right. That's always even like us in the black community. All right, even the people who do get some real paper, they don't know, and it's a very few, a very percentage, 3%. We'll say 97%. They don't even know how to stand on their own and buy their own community because they too busy trying to move out their community.
Mm-hmm.
They trying to everybody who even as a man, every man, black man around here, they say they have it's just like they condone their homosexual cousin who might be one of the best designers in the world. You know what I mean? I ain't fuck with that gay ass nigga. Man, that funny ass nigga. But then you make yourself that I don't want nothing but Versace, homosexual.
Mm-hmm.
I wear this. Man, so you go spend your money to say you a man by some other man who play with men his name on you to make you better than yourself. When nah, like in the days, Paul did it in them overalls. He
Mm-hmm.
came, he pulled up in them overalls, and then he had a pocket full of money for these 11 kids he got, and his wife, and anything. We got to get more back to doing for us and building on us, and not trying to be divided. We want to be a part of theirs so bad that we don't never have our own because we too busy just doing anything to be a part of theirs.
What roles do you think like the government, police, outside systems play in keeping us divided?
Man, they didn't play their role. It's like they didn't play their role. All they do is that they enforce to the point now. They just we're just here because we have to be. This is the we they didn't play them roles out so much that it's implemented into us.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like this. All right, let's say I push you down, bro, and then I go push 99 other motherfuckers down, and then I come back to you, and I see your ass still down, crying about me pushing you down. I'm finna stomp you out now, and see how many other people that because that's how fear and control is put into people. We gotta know, all right, this was put up against us, but we gotta know. We got a power in our black people spend more money than anybody, bro,
Mm-hmm.
on foolishness.
Mm-hmm.
I know that. I know that people can say it ain't no money, no money in a. But I know the black community spend because the black community and just a certain part of it have fed me to where I could go from just keeping it real. I could go from waiting on getting a 63 of work. You know what I mean? Because it's a drought. I'm gonna start and this drought lasted a month and a half. Within that point where I could have enough generated from selling plates, I have enough generated now to where it's like shit. If I wanted to buy a 9 piece, I could. But why would I do that when I could do this? I'm
Mm-hmm.
still getting the dope money because ain't nobody gonna feed them dope boys at night. Ain't nobody there to do it. I'm just working these same hours in a different way. So I know the money is in the black community because all of the money that's generated from people who got it come from this community, whether it be the smokers, whether it be the people who buy your food, buy your come to your club, whatever. It's all generated. I know with what 1 year and what just a part of the black community can do. I know what 365 days. I can say I can go from where I started and I got on day one. I ain't had touched nothing but $235 to my name, but by 365, I didn't touch 90,000. Not to say that I made a profit. It might have took 78,000 of that to keep shit going. But
Mm-hmm.
who cares? Because I done generated this much all out of my community in a year. And this is just a small part of the community. Now this was at a 2016, but the same way it happened then, it can happen now.
Mm-hmm.
Same way I see people who bring good stuff to the community, they generate money in the community. So if all of us is generating something to have a generational no fun and put back in the next person doing this, we can have a community. It's on us to put that shit together. Same way it's on us to hit the licks and go buy all that shit that don't fucking matter. In the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, that we gotta have some ownership. Everybody talk about every June. Everybody go down to Greenwood. The black people they sell their stuff. They hit their quick clicks. Put 1921, 1921, 1921. Why don't we never talk about 1906?
Mm-hmm. That part. Because they ain't studied.
1906 when
They
when the
just going on
mindset
with
was
they,
started.
they ain't studied. I mean, some of our people have, but like you say, 97%.
Don't keep on pointing out the time we got victimized.
Yeah, you
Let's
know what I mean?
let's get back to the point of where that mindset came and put things in a place where we can relive that and we won't be victimized because we know what happened already. But
Mm-hmm.
we spend too much time talking about the kids and the this and this and this and this. But really, by right, like honestly, y'all shouldn't even be in events with it. Where these kids is at, and as bad as that sound, Mama and them didn't come to the stuff we was at. And if they was way on that end, and we had a whole different respect. The internet, I have everybody, all of these grown ups, people, of a certain age, y'all and all of these kids' business, because y'all see these kids' business. These kids see y'all business. You know what I mean? Just like perfect example. I make money. I make money. I feed the wolves. That's how I look at it. Not to say I don't deal. I feed the wolves and the elderly. That's how I look at my whole thing. So anywhere from we gonna say from 18 to 70, I deal with somebody within that every age range on
Mm-hmm.
business.
Yeah.
One way or another, and you deal with all of them in a different way. You know what I mean? So and now none of that. When you feed everybody, out of that gang banging shit is out the window. Don't nobody look at it like that. You can go anywhere. You the fool. It's kind
Mm-hmm.
of like the people in jail who get to be the ones that roll the trays out. It don't matter what you can go to everybody's side. You get information from everybody because people talk to who feed them. You have a bond with who feeds you. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So with that being said, I see how everybody be in everybody business with no business. If we ain't got if I ain't got no if we ain't got no business together, if we ain't got no business together, we ain't got no business together. At this grown ass stage in life, I ain't got no business at the spot where no little kids is at, cause I know they might shoot this shit up. I know they might tear it up real quick. I know how stuff go. So I gotta do stuff in a whole different way. You know what I mean? I see what it is, so I know I can't move in a certain in a certain way because of the fact I can't move in a certain way because of the fact these kids they be these grown ass men. They be in on these posts, and everybody in there. They all in the same groups together. Then they want to be like nobody talking to these YNs and shit. Yeah, not these YNs. Why would anybody talk to them now? You talking to the same chick they talking to? They supposed to tear it up. They supposed to treat you with the same respect. Yeah, it ain't no respect of being grown, bro. You know what I mean? Old people used to didn't get in our stuff. Now everybody know the kids' business, bro. The kids will know the grown ups' business, and everybody know everybody business because of this internet. And everybody wanna be cool and be a part of this shit. But then when the shit get towed up, then we like uh, somebody needs to talk to him. These and nah, you would have the same influence when you was just on the same post, laughing and posting with them.
That's why I want to go into
You
the
know,
next
it's
subject.
just they don't be real. People don't be real on what they do. You know, all of the way around. You
The
gotta
internet is a facade. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a facade. Like back to the point I was getting to for my partner came man. But all right. So I deal with people from every age group. So I get into a situation with somebody in their 60s, bro. It's a minor situation. You know what I mean? It's a minor situation. It's a situation between me and them. No, me and them, well, it get to a certain point where, stuff get to the net. People want to play games. I'm not the one for that. I'm not. I'm a real and real. I'm a real deal person. So you got everybody who got an opinion now, though. But what trips me out is this is why I say from each age category. All right, I'm turning 40 at this point in time. I'm having a issue with a person who's 60. That's a minor issue. Shouldn't even been went to the point that it did, but it's a minor issue between me and another black business. You know what I mean? So I voiced my opinion about spending my black dollars, and it was taken a different way. Okay, so mind you, we both businessmen, man, 40 and 60. This get to the point where a 18-year-old come to me like, hey, Unc, who's from a whole different side, and like, hey, Unc, man, I seen him try to play with you. Seen Buddy, oh, but man, I go shoot up his whole establishment, bro. If you give me an ARP, Unc, and they're serious. But I'm so much of looking at it like, how's an 18-year-old even able to know what me and somebody in their 60s got going on to be able to come even offer to do anything or you know that don't
Mm-hmm.
that don't add up. It don't add up, bro. So I gotta be the one to know and play my position and be a grown man like I'm supposed to be. I gotta be the one to be a grown up and be like, nah, man, we don't do that, man. For one, you shouldn't want, man. Rights is everything, little partner. Bro, stay without a gun. I'll buy you an ARP. You turn 21 without a gun. Now you can legally have without no convictions. You can have it. Other than you can't, but you can't tell people the nonsense. You can't mislead your people because this internet is like a big school and everybody is classmates. The seniors is in class with the first graders, and some of these seniors are fucked up in a touch on these first graders in one way or another. So you gotta be able to. Well, you gotta act your age, man. You gotta act accordingly in your position in life, and you can't get caught up in all of this nonsense that you see.
That's why I want to kind of jump into what you were saying, and like I mean, speaking on the young brothers, because I don't even really like calling them YNs, but I'm saying on the young brothers.
Yeah, I know they call them the white. I mean, I don't. I call them.
I know that's the term. That's the term that the media gave them.
Yeah,
Because they ain't call themselves that. That was a term that was pushed on social media, and they accepted it. Our community accepted it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Our community definitely accept, but our community accept anything that become a trend.
Mm-hmm.
We accept anything that become a trend. Look at all of the damn challenges these grown ass people was doing. Grown ass challenges and any challenge that come, a line dance and shit. Man, everybody from 4 to 80 years longer than the black community.
That shit's sad. But
You know.
I want to go into my next question. As far as like YNs, one of the biggest problems that we have in our community is the separation between the mothers and the fathers. From your perspective, what caused that breakdown?
What comes the breakdown? But not my bad. Run that question back by me again.
Like during mom and pop's time, during grandma and grandpa's time, the family structure was stronger. You always saw the man in the household with the mom. So in today's times, you know what I'm saying? What do you
Yeah.
think caused that division? What do you think caused that breakup?
Like I've been saying the whole time, it's economical structure. We gotta show these kids how it ain't no mama's there, it ain't no daddy's there, don't nobody own nothing or have nothing. So we gotta show them how to ownership and leadership so they will know other than that, it's no reason to war. That's the only reason you should, because the only reason we should be warned or going is for protection of our land, our livelihood, our family, or our values, bro. So ain't none there. It ain't no. They don't respect mama nor daddy, especially with this 40 with this 30 on it and this switch on it.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gotta respect shit. So the only thing we gotta teach them to respect now is the respect. Okay, we do got this. Y'all do got guns. Y'all got this, but we gotta. You gotta have more than that. You gotta have something to own and protect. Because as you get older and older, you ain't gonna be crashing for the same things. But they mindset are they mindsets. They're militants. They're militants who were misled.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to understand and we have to stop condemning them. Like I was at at my nephew's funeral, and I see this like some of them. He was 22. You know what I mean? They popping. People come with their hats and stuff, and these old guys at the church, they come pressing them about taking a hat off. You know what I mean? When really, that which makes some of them just walk out, leave, because they don't know no better. They ignorant. When instead of getting them in there and getting them into that word and letting them just wear that hat, because you let these women wear their hats,
Mm-hmm.
but let them get in there and get to something, and then we teach them why you do take a hat off as a man, why you do that. They push them to, well, you can go if it, man, I want to come and pay my respect, and every day I pulled up on him with a hat. He was, they don't know, but we try to hold on to the old values of shit that's irrelevant instead of compromising to make new progress.
Mm-hmm. So like,
So we gotta have something. I don't look. One thing I know for sure, if you can show, it's just like this perfect example. You got a kid who we gonna say, because kids start smoking weed. Back to this weed thing of why we need cultivation of having all of these dispensaries and all of that. Kids start. Me as a kid, I started smoking weed young at 13, 12, 13. At 13 on a regular. So these kids are way more subjected and it's no more and can get things easier. So by the time they 12, 13, That full fledged shit. If they guns, they this. But say we got an organization. It's like, okay, look, all right, we got organizations to where we gonna teach life skills and tackle. We got a nonprofit, but here's all we gonna do is this. We gonna have a person over here. You're over cultivation. We might get 5 or 6 kids who 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 like to smoke weed, but you got to finish this program. We're gonna teach y'all, give y'all everything to grow all the best weed to where you don't got to pay for it, but you'll be well over 18 and be grown when that happens. You'll start this program off. You might start to learn flowers. You might start to learn to grow fruit. But everything we grow, we're gonna sell to bring in more money to get to the next project. And by the end, we'll have us a whole grow team. Okay, you got the ones over here who love guns to go deal with these guns. Now you got them with people training them to be that security or tactical gun specialists to where they can come and deal with this and have a knowledge of it. But the way you gonna make them do right at home is look, everybody every year, because not a nonprofit, most of our profits, we say we put in 100,000. Okay, we put in everybody at each one of these programs. If you go through the whole year before school start, let's say this program started is from July or August 1st to August 1st. So if you make it every year, you make it, we gonna give you $1,000 cash for making it through the program. But you had the same things as a probation, what have you have random drug tests, you had that. So now they got a reason to do right because we showing them that it pays to do right too. But other than the homie selling them, I don't give a fuck. Hey, it's like this, like versus they always saying, nigga, it don't matter what this shit is. People, nigga, the pills is cheap. They got get them and people gon' buy them. They see that the wrong pays. So we gotta show them that if you do right, you gonna be all right, and we gotta show them how to pay them with some right stuff, and we gotta kind of manipulate them into being into a righteous state. That we gotta have our people that we have organized. We know we gonna have our salesmen. We know we gonna have our security. And if we grab them young and let them know that's their job in life, they don't have to go to the streets and try to figure it out and get a job from somebody who ain't even qualified to do the job that they giving them. 9 times out of 10.
Do you think there's a way we can heal the black family structure, or you think we too far gone?
Black family structure is the backbone of the world because they make something out of nothing, even if it's the worst. If it's black family structure can never be done. It's too real. It's too real. So we need to relearn the dynamics of how to promote, give, and implement it in our community, not just in our family as a black family structure.
Because we
We
don't
got
see marriage
hey,
in that
we
community
got
right now.
we gotta put the neighbors back in the hood, man. Everybody says the hood, man. I'm from the hood. I'm from the hood. Hood is that neighborhood is a safe haven, a place where we gotta put the neighbors back in the hood, man. We just the hood, man. The hood is all bad, man. So we gotta put the neighbors back in it, man.
What responsibilities do the, you know what I'm saying, do the men have to step back up, or you know what I mean? What responsibilities do the men have to step back up into their households and community?
Men gotta men gotta start being men again. Bottom line, not niggas, not bitch ass niggas, not the motherfucking suckers, not the motherfucking half ass questionable set. All of these men don't know how to be men no more. And a man who do be a man is either prostituted or they either got some fucked up qualities about them, just in general. Men don't know how to be men. When you got men who gossip about shit on other men's pay and do all of this shit with kids all the time. When you got men who won't go get a job as a photographer but take 100 pictures of themselves a day. You
Mhm.
know, when you got men who get on here and want to be the smartest person and kick it all at you, talk about a table and you don't even got no home. You know what men gotta be men, bro. They
Hmm.
gotta be men. Men have let the roles to where even they go lay up on a chick or this or that, and man, nah, you gotta be a man again.
We don't protect. You know what I mean? We can't provide.
And that's I'm here to that's a lie when they say that black men don't protect, because most of these black men are homeless and they're gonna do anything to lie, steal, cheat, or protect home. Them not being out, especially in the winter, so they protect only what's beneficial to them.
All right, so like when we look at our youth, you know what I'm saying? They growing up without guidance, resources, and opportunities. What do you think they need the most right now?
Every situation calls for different things that's needed, but the first thing any of us need is economical structure, bro. That's key number one, is us having something to even give a man a job, to make a man, to protect his land, to give a man a home, to protect his area. We gotta have a more of a community,
Hmm.
you know. And I'm not saying just the same way the Jewish, it's a Jewish community out Lafayette. They have stores, they have schools that are there. It's a Muslim Pakistani community out in the same area. They have schools, they have stores, they have allowed stuff. We have to have that in our community as well to be a community. We just a bunch of black people who's asking for a spot in everybody else's community and wanted to speak on ours from there.
Do you think, you know what I'm saying, if brothers like yourself or like-minded individuals were to start a mentorship, you know what I'm saying, for the youngsters, do you think that'd be the right direction for them?
I mean, that's gonna happen regardless, at least with me, because that's what I do every day of my life with with anybody who I deal with, because that's righteousness. And yeah, that's gonna be a start. But hey, it's kind of like this. All right, it's just like, I'm gonna use something that the old people always say: ain't no romance without finance. So, right, it's kind of like this. Like, all right, think about dealing with a woman. Like, and that's how I treat everything I'm passionate to, with the respect I would treat a woman with. You know what I mean? Or the love of that. You know, so it's like this. Think about dealing with a woman. Ain't no romance without finance, because if you're gonna be her man and be a true man of all, and take care of her, you have to have certain finances in order and things to be. Y'all gotta be a home. It's just like this. Most people get married. I rent a house, you rent a house, and we gonna go. I'm gonna go buy you a 5,000, 6,000, $7,000 ring, maybe 10, whatever. Buy you this ring, and we both gonna end up moving out of this house into, or both of these houses we rent into a house together to rent more. When that's backwards, and you wonder why shit falling apart, because hell, I'm at work, you at work, and it still ain't enough, and we still owe rent, we don't own nothing. Versus, if you took that side, me personally, I would buy a chick I buy a quick fixer up house before I buy you a ring, because a man gon' do more to protect it. I'm the type of dude, you and that ring can go. I don't care, especially if it's all bad.
Hmm.
But you gonna work and protect and build your home as a man, even if that home is just her house. Because if I'm a real man and I really rock with you like that, even if it don't work out, I want to see you leave better than you came. You know what I mean? That's what a man's supposed to do. So even, but if not, if it do work out, it's either it ain't no reason for you to not leave, because you got your own to go to, so we can get that out the way quicker. Or even if it do work out, and man, you got something together. Now we got more money coming in from something you got to bring to the table, and now we equally yoked. As a man, I'm gonna feel like that money bring in, her money bring in that, and we match this to do this. I'm not gonna mess that up. You're gonna have more ways to be a man. You're a leader. You take hers, you know, and y'all make it together. But you made a way for her to make hers. Same way she do the same for you. So I look at it like that with any relationship that I'm truly in value to.
Right.
We gotta bring. we gotta have mentorship, but talking ain't enough, man. Sometimes you need a little incentive.
Hmm.
So we gotta have ways to pay. We gotta have ways to pay these youngsters just like we talking to them, man.
Do you think, you know what I'm saying, when we look back at the movements that were before our time, you know what I mean, the fights that they had to go through, do you think that our people in this generation are ready for a change? Or you think they too far gone?
The ones who are ready for change will change, and those are the ones that will matter. And the ones that are far gone are gonna stay where they're at in. It's gonna have to just be a separation. It's gonna have to be a division. The same way you got all of these people that look white, but this one might be an Italian, this might be a Poland, this might. We have to do that with us as a black race and black people. We kind of got to cut ourselves off and maybe just do our own thing in our own community.
How important is it to you, you know what I'm saying, to own businesses, land, and resources if we serious about our freedom?
Man, that's my soul mission in life to preach and speak on that. You're not for hire, so hire yourself. Make a job. We've been making stuff our own way, and I'm not saying don't work these other jobs and utilize these things. We have to work with them to get to where we're going. But we have to own, control, and operate our own.
Having, you know what I'm saying, having your own business, you know what I'm saying? How does that tie into self-sufficiency in the bigger picture of building for the people?
Man, it depends on what business or what you want out of business. With me personally, I was always taught since a kid. My mama worked for her father who owned the cleaners, and ever since I done been born, my dad have owned his own landscaping business. So I
Hmm.
was taught from young. I was taught at 5 years old, you're not for hire. I was taught by 7, 8 years old, I was able to go to work and get a check. You know what I mean? Like even like in my house, we learned. My dad taught us values. Like, all right, I can say like at the Christmas time, I ain't never ever had a Christmas tree ever in my house. I ain't never had a bunch of Christmas gifts. Now, we had a few good Kwanzas, you know what I mean? I ain't knocking none of that, but I never had, when I went back to school, now sometimes if it's good stuff, I'm gonna get some good stuff, but the toys and PlayStation and all that, never had that. But
Yeah.
I could say ever since I ain't never from 8 years old to I graduated. I never I never went back to school in January with less than for I say from 8 to 10 less than $100 in my pocket.
Yeah.
And I say from 10 to on up at least $200 to $300 in my pocket at minimum when I went back to school. Because every them breaks, my daddy had me working, and I got a paycheck to where I can go. It's Christmas Day day. You can buy whatever you want, long as you do for self. You make you so you don't gotta wait on no day. You don't sit on no white man lap or no man lap and sit and ask him to give you something when you can work to get it for yourself. So I was taught to different values. I was brought up to do for self, and I was bred to think that way. So that's everything to me because that's how I've survived. That's how I've been fed. That's how that was my daddy's livelihood. Is my daddy's livelihood. It's my livelihood. It's how I teach my kids. It's everything.
Now you got a lot of people that say that the older generation failed the younger ones. Do you agree with that? Why and why not? Or why not?
Man, I don't know. Maybe this the next generation there, but no, I can't say that for me because from the crackheads to everything, none of them failed us in my generation. They gave us what we needed to know, and we went with the next thing. Now, I mean, for one, let's just get this straight. We need everybody say y'all need to get these young cats some game. We need to discuss and figure out what game are we playing. If we're playing Monopoly, we buying up stuff. If we playing GTA and Black Ops and stuff, they playing the game right. You shoot stuff up, it ain't another like. So we need to first of all, as a community, when I talk about giving game and game, we need to discuss and distribute to figure out exactly what game are we playing here, so we can know who needs to give them the game to go to the next place. I like to play the game Monopoly. That's my favorite game. So that's the game I'm playing and giving you game to.
See, when I heard you say that, the way you broke that down, Monopoly or GTA, I thought about chess. Are we thinking 10 moves ahead? Are we thinking toward the future moves? You know what I'm saying?
We are thinking 10 moves ahead if you're playing if you're
Right.
playing if you're playing any game strategically.
Mm-hmm.
You can play GTA strategically
Mm-hmm.
and I get caught. So and I think the chess statement is it's just more strategic, the strategic moves to be able to make another move after this move.
So what do we as a community need, you know what I'm saying, to start holding ourselves accountable for if we serious about this healing in progress?
We need to learn how. We need to come together and be a community, bro. We have to be there for more than the smoking, drinking, and barely thinking, man. We gotta be there. We gotta be at some of these events that people ain't gonna come shoot up. We can't be at. Sometimes we can't be at the Facebook group baseball games. Sometimes we can't be at the Juneteenth and this because we know on this new day that might get shot up. So we have to do some other events and have us at some other things to where for one, ain't nothing funny. Ain't no everybody go out every goddamn weekend. People getting killed and stuff, and there ain't shit to celebrate out here. People out here celebrate pure failure
That part every
and
weekend.
going in debt to do it. So
Every weekend.
we gotta stop, trying to drug party and fake our pain away and deal with it and admit who we are and be who we are and do what we can do to be the nation that we need to be.
Buyers and consumers.
Right, right. So
What's
that's
Go ahead.
that's the first thing. And then after that, then we can all be like-minded individuals and discuss. But until we put ourselves in a certain position, we can't even. That's just a question of what if. We
Mm.
ain't got time for the what ifs.
What's one thing, you know what I'm saying, when you around the young brothers and sisters, or you know what I'm saying, that you try to keep them from being caught up in these streets?
Man, I tell them the real of everything in life, how it affects. It's a good and a bad of this, but it all come with it. It all come with it, bro. And you're not gonna feel the way 5 years from now the way you feel now. Life changes. You'll see. You keep living and playing it, you'll see. But I try to teach them a different aspect of looking at it, man. A different way. Just like that. If you really hate the ops or you really don't like them, go buy their mama house. It's on foreclosure, bro. Go down, go. Y'all got enough money put together and buy. Y'all hate them that much, get them out of there. Buy their hood. That's how you feel.
Yeah,
We can't just keep killing for nothing, pointless,
the same repeat.
right?
50,
Eh,
60 years, the same thing.
Right. So we have to just do this differently, bro. Economical structure is everything. If us having something, we got something to protect, and we have something, and when you have something, you feel like something, and you move different.
Now I wanna get into, you know what I'm saying, a touch of soul. You know what I mean? Let's talk about that a little bit. Like, when did it start? You know what I'm saying? And what inspired you to start it?
Man, I'ma just be real, touch a soul, really. Man, I'ma be, and I'ma tell you the whole truth. Touch a soul started from a few different, people. You know what I mean? One of the biggest people who put it in my mind to do Touch a Soul is Commando Code,
Yeah,
CO2. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like that was one of the biggest people that make me, because we always will be in the studio, we'll be always rapping and this and that, and I made a pizza one time and he'll be always like, man, forget this rapping, you need to be cooking, you need to be cooking. So it it kind of always put it in my mind that I could sell it. That situation is one of my people. I ain't gonna. I can't name, but it was one of my people that I was doing one of my older cats I was doing business with, and
Hmm.
some stuff went bad. All of this is out of the time I started touching stuff, but a situation went bad. And then work dried up. Situation went bad. Had to throw something that disappeared. So I owed him like $1,200. You know what I mean? So me, I'm a man. I'm gonna pay any debt that I got. So one day I'm just over at his house. We blowing hungry. I make something to eat. I cook some. Out of what he had. So he ended up hitting me later, like, "Hey man, you can come work that debt off. Just come over here and cook." Woo, woo, And so when I seen it knocked. It knocked down that and just kept on hearing Coco Mama, because at this time I'm on some rap stuff. I'm on some rapping and hustling, man. That's what I was. My aspirations was in life at that time. You know what I mean? It wasn't even thinking of nothing else. But after them two situations, then me and one day it's like me and my partner, we up trapping late night, so we hungry. We got this crib. He ain't got nothing. So I got to my mom and daddy. I take some fish up out of their freezer, and to go over there and cook, cook it for them. We cooking. We finna hit the trap. We trapping. We cook the fish, eat the fish. So we just listen and to Jack or Touch Us All. You know what I mean? That's what we. This is what's playing.
Yeah.
And my bro just kept on saying, "Bro, this is Touch Us All. This is Touch Us All." So I just put it on my mind like, I'm finna get a crib. I'm finna trap it out, but I ain't gonna sell no dope. I'm gonna just sell food. You know what I mean? Went to my pops, talked to him, told him that I'm finna get a trap, because he said, "What you gonna do next?" I'm like, "I'm finna get a trap." And he looked at my pops is such a real person that even if I would have said I'm gonna do it in that dad way, he would be like, "Hey, it ain't what I want you to do, but that you know, yeah, do you." But when I told him what I was gonna do about playing, shit, we made it happen. You know what I mean? I made it happen. He found me a spot I could rent out for 3 years. They told me for basically I could stay here for 3 years if I fix it up and get it right. I ended up putting 5 grand in it there. I rolled it out for 3 years and made Touch a Soul out of it. You know what I mean? I made Touch a Soul. Made me a stimulus package for myself, and me and my same partner who I was hustling with, we made it work. Through that, I was blessed to have real friends in my first year doing business who get off their jobs, come help me deliver food, come with, and it worked. It worked like it worked. It worked like the dope game. It worked the same way, but better.
I didn't got to play from you yet. You know what I'm saying? You know your thing in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I can
Yeah,
testify.
that's it. Like, cause I'm gonna just keep it real. Like, I treat this. All right, when I'm in the kitchen, I'm treating it like there's 5 people there with guns gonna kill me if this ain't right.
Yeah.
Because if this ain't right and it don't work out and I keep on fucking up, I'm back to the streets where it's more than 5 people with guns and the police and everything else waiting to kill me. So I
Mhm.
know my reality if this don't work. Because it ain't no plan C, ain't no plan. It's this, you know? So
Yeah.
I treat everything with a love and a passion that I would want when I get something. I want to give you the experience like you went to grandma's house and got something bomb, or slid over to homie mama house and got something bomb to eat. That you didn't even expect. So that's where Touch Your Soul came from. Touch Your Soul. This is Touch Your Soul. That's what I'm supposed to do in everything I do.
Yeah.
That's where it came from. I was always, like I say, my daddy been a businessman, so I always was business minded. So I went and got every license that I need. I went and got an LLC before I even trapped it out.
Yeah.
Made it work, you know.
I got a couple more questions before we wrap this thing up. What do you want your legacy to be? How do you want to be remembered?
That's a good. And everybody gonna remember something different, but everybody, I want everybody who remembers something different, and I'll be able to say, Minka was real, intelligent, and he always was trying to give something to get us to the next level. He was always speaking on bettering us, even if it wasn't for him. That's my legacy.
You have any final messages that you would like to give to the community or anybody watching this?
Man, do for self. Do for self. Get that hate out of your heart. Do for self. Use the next person to get to where you need to be, but don't misuse these people. Don't misuse each other. And man, start and do for self. Build something with your family. Teach them more than shoes, fashion, and this nonsense. That's all I can say. That's my main goal that I feel right now.
All right, as we wrap this thing up, you got any shout outs that you would like to give? And I'm looking for a part two because I want to get into the music, you know what I'm saying, and more stuff. But
And yeah, we could. It's whatever. I'm gonna give a real conscious freestyle real soon, man. I'll be in my bag with my music. That's just something personally to myself. Wait a bit. But shout out the whole man, the whole town, man. Shout out everybody who rock with me. Shout out all of the people who support me. Shout out the people who don't. You know. Shout out, man. Hey, I ain't. I'm happy, bro. I'm cool in life. I'm good with everything. I I want us to get to the point where we got some more to talk about, not just shit that we have, where we really have something. So,
mm-hmm.
that's why I can shout out everybody, but I can't shout out our conditions and our situation. And that's the thing I want to be able to shout out the most.
No, that's real. I respect that. Like I said, man, it's been another episode of that helping our people elevate. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you, bro. And I look forward, like I say, seeing you in the future.
No, bro, I appreciate you. You done did business with me, like you said. You done bought place with me, and anybody who do business with me and support me, I'm gonna support them, and I support the way you move as a man and the message you put out there. So it was but only right. I'll take a little bit of my time to do that and put some things on hold to be able to talk to you about some real life issues.
That's real, brother. I appreciate it, bro. It's much love and respect.
Man, hey, this is the first of many, man. We're gonna do this a lot more and on a different level, and have more. We're gonna get them programs that you was talking about, a
Mm-hmm.
mentorship together off the camera, and we'll go from there with that too. But now this is just the start of many things that we're gonna do together, bro. So it's an honor for me to be able to do it.
Indeed. So, like I said, y'all stay tuned because y'all gonna see us again.
For sure.